Hello YouTube and welcome back to another Dare to Game video. Today we're playing Mount and Blade Bannerlord, specifically looking at the Realm of Thrones Total Conversion mod. And today we're going to be going through the 10 best shields added to the game with this mod. And so again, like usual in these videos, these shields are not only the best ones that are unique to the mod and added into the game, but they also rank among the absolute best things available in the game just because their stats are ridiculously good. So we're going to go through them 10 to 1, 10 being the worst, 1 being the best, and let's just start it off with number 10. And so here at number 10 we have the Targaryen shield, and now this one is obviously only one of several different variants of Targaryen shields in the game, but this one is the best of them. It is a small round shield, obviously. We have a weight of 4.7 on this one. It's a tier 3 shield with a speed of 86, but it still has 400 hit points, which is pretty dang good. So not only does this look quite good as a smaller round shield, which I know a lot of people really enjoy using, but it's got pretty dang solid stats. So yeah, that is the Targaryen shield, which takes the number 10 spot. At number 9, we've got a more iconic shield, one that you would see many times if you watch the TV show, the Lannister shield. So this is the common shield of the Lannister foot soldier. This one has a weight of 4.7. It is also a tier 3 weapon. It has a speed of 86 and again hit points of 400. This one is just slightly better because it does cover a little bit more area. As far as the appearance on this one goes, obviously quite good. It is a little weird to see the like imprint on the back there instead of like a leather backing or wood or something like that instead for texture, but I do quite like the way it looks, and obviously, like I said, performs quite well because of the stats of the shield. So if you're playing as a Lannister or any person from the Westerlands, this is a great shield for you. So that is number 9. So at number 8, we have the Unsullied Pikeman shield, and now there are basically two different types of Unsullied troops in this mod, and I think it might have been done on purpose by the mod author because I'm guessing that the mod author has a pretty good knowledge of the books, and from the books you see that there are Unsullied and there are Unsullied. And so in the troop trees where you can recruit Unsullied, you have the Noble troop tree, which is how you get all the way to the top and get the actual real best Unsullied in the game. But then in their standard troop tree, at the top of their pikeman line is the Unsullied pikemen, and so they're not quite as good. Their equipment isn't as good, their stats aren't as good, and so like I said, that's your second tier Unsullied. And these are the shields they use, but they are quite good. So we've got a weight of 4.3, it is a tier 3 weapon, our shield. We have a speed of 92, so it is quite fast, and hit points of 400. As for the appearance on this one, you saw how small it was on the back, so it's obviously closer to a buckler than a proper shield, but I think it looks quite good, and if you're going for any sort of a playthrough where you want to have a smaller shield, this is a great option for that. So yes, that's the Unsullied Pike shield, our pikeman shield, which takes the number 8 spot. Alright, so at number 7 we have perhaps the most iconic shield in the entire series, the Stark shield, which I quite love. It's one of my favorite styles of anything that the show's introduced because I just really like the way they went with it. Stat-wise on the Stark shield, we have a weight of 4.7, it is a tier 3 shield, we have a speed of 86, and hit points of 420, so blaze it. But again, appearance-wise, you gotta just love it. It's obviously a standard round shield design. On the back, you can see grip-wise, we have a center boss grip, which wouldn't be ideal for the type of combat that we usually see in the show, but it's not totally historically inaccurate that people would still be using a center boss grip. So I like it. It's obviously a bit thick appearance-wise. It looks way too thick, because what it would be in real life is a wooden shield, probably with some sort of a stamped metal plating over the top of it, whereas this looks to be like inch-thick steel, which would be ridiculously heavy. But yes, it looks very good, and it's got great stats, and so obviously in the game it's quite good, so it takes the number 7 spot. Following a recent trend, at number 6 we've got another round shield. This time it's the Wildling Shield 2. So obviously there's more than one Wildling shield you can get in the game, and the second variant is the one that takes this spot. So stat-wise on this one, we have a weight of 4.7, it's a tier 3 weapon, we have a speed of 86, and again hit points of 420. So again, blaze it. This one looks a lot like the Stark shield. It's a little bit thick, but at least this one's wood on the back, and it has the straps instead of the center boss grip, so that would be a little bit easier to use for the style of combat we most commonly see in Game of Thrones. And again, obviously, if you want to get your hands on this one, you got to go after some wildlings, because it's going to be in their territory where you find this type of thing. So you can buy it at their stores, defeat their troops. Any way you can get one off of a wildling is a good way, because it is quite a good shield. So that's the Wildling Shield 2, which takes the number 6 spot. Alright, and at number 5, we've got a tower shield instead of a round shield like a lot of the ones we've been looking at, and we have the TYRELL shield. So stat-wise, this is a 3.5 for weight. It is a tier 4 shield. We have a speed of 82 and hit points of 430, so slightly higher for those hit points. As far as the appearances on this one go, I like it, but I don't love it. Look how thin it is. That would not be a very useful shield. Obviously, I like the fact that it's wood and not, you know, inch-thick metal, but it is way too thin. That bad boy would get sheared in half by a good sword cut. But yeah, yeah, I think it looks quite good and obviously matches the style that we see in the shows. So again, this is a TYRELL shield, so obviously anywhere in the Reach you're going to have a good probability of finding one. Most commonly High Garden or, you know, from defeating any of the TYRELL troops. So yes, that is the TYRELL shield, which takes the number 5 spot. All right, at number 4, we have the last round shield on this list, the Unsullied shield. So this is the standard one that you'll find being used by what I would call the real Unsullied troops in the game. For stats on this one, we have a weight of 5.3. It is a tier 4 shield. We have a speed of 92, so still quite fast, and hit points of 500, so significantly better than all the ones we've looked at so far. Appearance-wise, it looks just like a larger version of the Unsullied pikeman shield, so it's a standard black. It's got like the blue speckles on it, a center boss, even though it's got kind of a weird grip style on it. It's got the hand loop sort of handle thing, but it's also got a weird indent. Oh, I guess that's... it just looks weird if you look at it this way, because it looks like it's pointing out backwards, which would make the shield considerably harder to use. But yeah, I guess that is just the imprint from the boss on the front. So yes, quite cool looking shield and obviously excellent stats, the Unsullied shield. All right, bringing us into the top 3, we have the BOLTON shield at number 3. This obviously very large tower shield that we see the Boltons use in the later seasons, probably most prominently at the Battle of the Bastards. So stats on this one, we've got a weight of 3.5. It is a tier 5 shield, a speed of 82, and hit points of 510. Appearance-wise on this one, it is pretty dang good. Nothing real to complain about. Obviously, it's a very large, oversized shield, and you do have a picture of the flayed man on it, so if you want to use this one, you have to be fine with, you know, carrying around that sigil. But I quite like it. I think it looks good. It's obviously, the main components on it are painted wood and leather, which is good. It's a little on the thin side, but nothing too ridiculous. So yes, the BOLTON shield is the number 3 best shield in the game. At number 2, we've got a more reasonably sized tower shield, that being the GREYJOY shield. So this is going to be one that you find in the Iron Islands, particularly amongst GREYJOY troops. For the stats on this one, we have a weight of 3.5. It is a tier 5 shield. We have a speed of 82 and hit points of 510. I quite like the appearance of this one. It's one of my favorite looking shields, both in the show and in the mod. I think they did a great job on it here. Like I said, it is a tower shield for the style, but a pretty dang reasonable sized one, unlike the BOLTON shield, which is ridiculously large. This one would be pretty usable during regular combat. I would like to say that typically you didn't have a soft leather strap as your only hold on shields like this. If you had just one thing to hold on to, it would be in the center and it would be hard. Typically on something like this, you would have something that you held here, a handle of some sort, and a strap up higher for your arm. Whether it would be right here or on a shield like this, a lot of times it would be actually vertical. But with all that being said, the GREYJOY shield is quite good and it takes the number 2 spot. And finally at number 1, we have the MORMONT shield. Basically a reskin of the GREYJOY shield because size-wise it's pretty much exactly the same. But it does have the cool sigil of House Mormont on it, so considerably cooler for that regard. Stat-wise, we have a weight of 3.5. It's a tier 5 shield, speed of 82, and hit points of 510. This one is obviously one that I quite enjoy. It's not quite thick enough, but it is a wooden shield. We have our strap system. Oh, never mind. I was going to say it's better because the shadow there made it look like it had 2 straps there, which would be more usable, or a strap and a handle, but I don't know why that's there. But whatever the case may be, obviously an iconic shield from the end of the Battle of the Bastards. Jon Snow uses one to block several arrows from Ramsay before, you know, finishing that situation quite well. Very cool shield. Excellent if you want to roleplay as a Northerner, I would say. But yes, that is number 1, the MORMONT shield, and that is all 10 of the best shields added with this mod, the Realm of Thrones mod. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it useful, or at least entertaining, but that's all for today, and we'll see you next time. Thanks for watching another Dare to Game video. If you liked this video, please leave a like and a comment. If you haven't already, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If you like my content and would like to support this channel, consider becoming a member today for as little as $1.99 a month. It makes a huge difference. But in any case, thanks for watching and have a nice day. I'll see you next time.